Hello everyone, it is time for some big announcements. So, as you've probably seen by now, I have reached 20,000 subscribers. And I didn't really pay attention to my subscriber numbers. The last milestone to me was catching up with Vintage Fans and More. I think you guys know that's the only other fan-related YouTube channel that I really care about. But 20,000 is a big milestone, and there are a bunch of big things that were going to happen anyways. And so I figured, why not include them for 20,000 subscribers and make that kind of a big celebration and, an excuse to make some changes and things like that. So, the first one that you've probably seen in the title of the video is that I am starting a Patreon. If you don't know what Patreon is, it's like Netflix or Hulu or those type of things, but specifically for YouTubers and other people that don't have, major network streaming deals. It's a way for small-time creators such as myself, such as Vintage Fans and More, Technology Connections, some of the other channels that I like, to offer a content subscription for our supporters. So, it is the first thing that I will do on this channel that actually costs money. It does not cost very much. I'm subscribed to a few Patreons, so is my wife. In this case, I think the tiers are $3, $6, or $9 a month. So it's a very small amount of money. It's less than I spend on a cup of coffee, or 2 cups of coffee, depending on which tier you pick, I guess. But it's a very small amount of money. So let's talk about that real quick, because I did also put up a video, introducing the Patreon and, welcoming people to it and things like that. But at the time I filmed that video, I wasn't as clear on what I was going to do. So let's talk about it. Right now, there's the 3 tiers. $3 a month is just you want to support. You want to contribute something. You like my content enough to give something towards it. And you will get to contribute to discussions on Patreon that will not be public. I will be asking for suggestions for content. I will be asking for suggestions for fan videos, for music tutorials, for what should go up next, that kind of stuff. There'll be all kinds of private discussions that happen just among patrons or Patreon supporters, and you'll have access to that. But the $3 a month is just going to be a way to support and be a part of the community without getting any of the Patreon-only features. For $6 a month, you will get to see content that other people don't get to see long before it goes up public on YouTube. So for example, a lot of people really like the series of videos that we've been filming at Youth Center, which was the former Rex Theater, which was the former Lawndale Theater, the former Grandale Theater. It went through a number of changes over the years, and it is currently Youth Center, Church of God in Christ, my uncle's church. The series of videos that we have filmed there are all kinds of, I think at least 20 behind-the-scenes videos that we have filmed for Rick to share stuff with me, for me to share stuff with Rick, for us to share stuff with my uncle. There's all kinds of content specific to that building that is not public. And I'm going to make that available on Patreon so that people who support me on Patreon at the $6 or more tier will have access to that behind-the-scenes, non-public content. Same with when I film music stuff that doesn't go up right away. You'll have a chance to see that before anybody else does. You'll have a chance to see all kinds of unlisted content on my YouTube, private content on my YouTube, that may or may not become public down the road. Because again, some of the Youth Center stuff will probably never become public for reasons that we'll discuss on Patreon. Some of it will. You'll also get to see videos before they go up. So for example, there's at least 2 Youth Center videos that haven't gone up yet that we filmed weeks ago. And it's just because I'm only putting up, I think, 4 videos a day, something like that. It takes time to, for that to play out. And so there's a video that's going to be public, a new updated tour of Youth Center that has not gone up yet. There's some Habitat videos that I've filmed that have not gone up yet. There's some music. If you look at this date on what Sunday I am and when it's posted, I'm several weeks behind in church stuff. So there's stuff that's going to be public that will not be public until months after it's filmed that you'll get to see right after it's filmed. So then there's the $9 tier. The $9 tier is going to be Patreon-only content that is filmed specifically for Patreon that will never become public, or at least not become public until things change, you know. I'm going to start doing, because the biggest request for my channel is tutorials, guitar tutorials, organ tutorials, and I just don't have, they're very time consuming. I don't have the time to do them unless I'm paid for them, and then in which case I block out a day or whatever. So instead of charging specific people to do those tutorials, if I make enough money on Patreon, I'll do a tutorial. Another type of requested content is specific fan videos. People are like, well, why can't you test this Harbor Breeze fan or this Monte Carlo fan? I'm like, well, because I'd have to go out and buy one, and I can't just buy at full price every fan that somebody wants to see. But if I get enough people supporting me on Patreon, that money will go right back into the channel, into making more content. And some of that content will be public, but some of it will be for Patreon only. It will only be for Patreon supporters. So that's the $9 tier. There's also a $25 VIP tier. I don't fully understand that. It was just something that when I put all the things into Patreon that they added. I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. For now, just assume that that's just if you want to really support and really, you know, help me, you can do that. If we get people that support at that level, then I will probably do some live streams that will only go to those supporters, or we'll do, I don't know, maybe that'll be the tier that gets to group chat while we're testing stuff. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. That tier is there. You can subscribe to it, and if enough people subscribe to it, we will do something with it. But for now, I'm mainly focusing on the first three. So just to recap, number one, discussions, and you get to just be a supporter and be helpful, and I appreciate you so much. Number two, you get to see behind the scenes stuff and videos that will be public before they are public. Tier three, you get to see stuff that will likely never be public and is specific to Patreon. So that is the first big 20,000 subscriber announcement. Now you're going to see some other stuff coming up as a result of this milestone. I've been hinting at in various videos there have been some major changes in terms of my facilities, namely the organ shop. So that's coming up, and that's going to be crucial to both the people that support me for music and the people that support me for ceiling fans, because the way the organ shop was set up before, most of the organs couldn't be played. We're going to do a lot more stuff with organs. There's going to be a lot more fan and lighting related stuff. You're going to see that content coming up soon in the next few days and weeks. That's going to be a big milestone as a result of 20,000 subscribers. I also have, as the result, there's a Facebook group dedicated to Menards commercials that has generously allowed me to be a part of it. So I'm going to start putting some more ceiling fan and lighting related Menards commercials coming up. That's going to be another thing you're going to see a whole lot of following this milestone. So there's a series of Menards commercials coming for those who like fans, lighting, and or Menards, and they like saving 11%. That's going to be another cool thing. So just to be clear, this Patreon is for people who are into the music side of the channel and the people that are into the ceiling fans and lighting side of the channel. And heck, if we get enough subscribers interested in the coffee side of the channel, the murder mysteries, or the other auxiliary stuff that I do, we'll include that as well. As of right now, there's more content for the ceiling fan and lighting side that will be Patreon specific than there is for the music side. But if you've followed my channel for a while, then you know that that is subject to change. Certain stages of my life are very fan and lighting centric, and then things shift and things are very music centered for a while. And it goes back and forth. So I just want it to be very clear that that is for people that are fans of all the types of content on the channel, at least the popular types, which is the music and the fan and lighting stuff. So those are the first few major things that are going to happen after this milestone. There's going to be a few other things that are going to happen down the road, so stay tuned for some future announcements, which will either have me seated here at the couch or at an organ at church or something. You know what an announcement looks like on this channel. So stay tuned for those. We're going to do some more stuff. This is the first of many announcements as a result of hitting this milestone, but this is a big one. I've been toying with starting a Patreon for a long time, and I just wasn't clear what I could offer to my subscribers that would be worth paying for that they're not already getting for free. and having this backlog of content that people are excited for gave me a huge step forward in how to do that. And again, if it gets some momentum, then we'll start doing some Patreon specific content, namely organ and guitar tutorials, as well as specific fan reviews. So that'll come down in the future. Stay tuned for more announcements. And if you are a Patreon supporter and you would like to be shouted out as a Patreon supporter, I know a lot of Patreon accounts will do that. They will put your name in the credits, or they will say it on the air or something like that. I don't have a problem doing that. It's not going to be an official thing just yet, but if that's something you care about, then we will make that happen. As always, I could not bring you this quality content without our sponsors, Fanstick, Lightstick, Taco Burrito Mexico. I think there's another one, but there will be some content specifically from our sponsors coming up in the future as well. So look for that. In the meantime, I will put a link down below as to where you can support me on Patreon. Otherwise, I'm sure if you search my name, it will come up. I will also look into adding that to all the other videos. That'll take some time, but hopefully that'll go up as well. So that's something you have to look forward to. Please spread the word. If you know somebody that you think would be interested in supporting, please tell them, because they might not all see this video, or they might not watch past seeing me in the beautiful Santa hat and Christmas sweater. So please spread the word. If we only get a few people to support, I'll only be able to do a little with it. If we get a lot of people supporting, I'll be able to do a lot more of the things that we talked about, which are things that people have been asking for, people have been wanting. So it can only help everyone, not just me. You, if you enjoy the content on this channel, the more people subscribe. So please spread the word, let people know. Again, it's a very small nominal cost, $3 a month, $6 a month, or $9 a month, which for me is a rounding error in balancing my virtual checkbook every month, so to speak. So it's designed to be an amount of money that you don't notice, but if enough people do it, then it gives us some more resources to work with and do the things that people have been asking for. Again, I don't hate to sound like a broken record, but fan test videos of fans that I don't own and can't access without paying full price. Guitar and organ tutorials, and more work on projects like the building in Chicago, which can also be very expensive. So again, spread the word, let others know that if they help support, they get to see a lot of cool new content they wouldn't get to see otherwise, and it will help us bring a lot of new content out there. If there's anything specific you want to see, now is the time to say it. You can say it in the comments. If you join the Patreon, you can say it there. You can always email me or Facebook message me and say, hey, this is something I've been wanting to see from your YouTube channel or from your other, social media, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you're watching. And we'll see what we can do to bring that to fruition. So please, don't be shy. Reach out with what you'd like to see, and if we can make it happen, we will. And hopefully this Patreon will be a tool that can help make a lot of that stuff happen. So I already thanked our sponsors. I'll thank you once again for watching. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the YouTube channel. Thank you for liking, following, and all that on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and now Patreon. As always, thanks for watching.